We're making the best of this one. We have a complete hydraulic system failure, but we're not letting that stop us. We're continuing to sail using the emergency tiller up to Black Point. Black Point is an absolutely beautiful bay, and we go explore its unique blowhole. We had spent the previous night on anchor near Little Farmer's Key. Okay, we spent the night here just outside of Little Farmers, and we just did the cave hike this morning. Took the boys with us. They enjoyed hanging out on the beach. Didn't film it because we already filmed that the other day and showed it to you. So now I got my Rain Man Watermaker running. So the pressure is good. I'm gonna go over here and check the water. So I have the product water. I have a valve I can switch to go in the tanks or not. So first I run it in the sink here, and then I just kind of test it. Yep, high quality H2O. So now I'll go back over there and flip the switch and it'll start pumping it in the tanks. And so if you already have a Rain Man, so this one, I've had this Rain Man unit I've had for 5 years on this boat or more. So this one's all manual, so I have to do it all myself, but they're coming out, I think in the next month or two, they're coming out with this other system that will hook into the old systems like this. It'll hook into the old manual systems, and it's a control panel, and so it's push button. So you don't have to do any of the valves or selectors and all that, it's automatic. So kind of a cool product there. But you can see we got the mattress in here because, I don't know if you watched the last video, we are currently using the emergency tiller. So it connects to the steering, to the rudder post there, goes up there, and I've got a tiller that connects. And so the problem is, like, I can't have this bed set up. All right, so it's got 2 cylinders, rams. And that one was the starboard side was recently rebuilt, and then the port side was not rebuilt, and that's the one that busted a seal. We have no hydraulic fluid, and it wouldn't hold the pressure anyway, so it's manual steering until I get the part, which will be, I don't know, at least another 4 or 5 days. So manual steering with the tiller up there for now. So for now, we got to use these 2 beds in here. These right here, unfortunately. Because, I mean, I could put my bed back and use it, but then I got to pull the steering apart every night when we move the boat. So if we're going to stay for maybe 2 or 3 nights somewhere, maybe I'll do that. I'll put my bed back so I can sleep in my own bed, but, whatever. How was your night?
Good.
Yeah?
No, I have really deep sleep here on the boat.
That's good. A little gentle rocking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of rocks you to sleep like being in a car a little bit. Some people sleep really well like doing that, so. All right, I'm gonna start the motor, and we are gonna move only about 8 miles up to Black Point. We'll probably spend 2 nights there. It's a nice, beautiful bay, and there's stuff to do on land, so.
Okay.
All right, you ready? We may or may not do a little sailing depending on the conditions, but it's, like I said, it's hard. It's perfect actually it's perfect for sailing right now.
Yeah.
But with the tiller steering and no autopilot, it's a little bit harder.
You don't want to risk it.
Well, the thing is like, you don't know how to handle the sails and all that, so I'd have to basically run away from the steering, do the sails, and go back. Hopefully we didn't get off too far, of course. So
okay.
We'll see how it goes. So first thing I do is I pull it up to where I can disconnect the bridle. So since I'm doing this without somebody at the helm, what I'll do is I pull up the anchor chain until it's tension, and then I stop, let the boat pull itself forward on the weight of the chain, and then I'll do it some more. And that way I'm not putting too much stress on that. So the weight of that chain is going to pull the boat. I mean, if it's really windy, you can't do this. It's only if it's fairly light. It only takes a moment to disconnect the bridle, and then I can continue pulling up the anchor. I always tell people this, windlass. The windlass is something on a boat that can absolutely, this thing that hurts you the worst on the boat. It'll cut your hand or your foot right off, so you always gotta be real careful. With the anchor up, now I had to deal with the emergency tiller. It's not an ideal way to steer the boat. Nice thing is I can use the bow thruster to help steer us too. But it's electric, so you can only do it 15 seconds. I wasn't able to turn the boat sharp enough from inside the cockpit. I can't steer well enough with this window open, so I had to pull down the isinglass to give myself a little bit more room to steer. I couldn't go left enough, so now I can at least, it's not real, I can turn right pretty sharp. I can't turn left very sharp, so now I can at least stay straight. I can go slowly to port or quickly to starboard, so now at least I can go to port. This thing's not too terribly just hard to steer. It's just I can't get very much, like I can't turn very far either way. There's a little play in it, so like it kind of sucks. You have to move it a long way because of the play, because the couplers are not real tight and all that, but whatever, it'll work. It was only a little over an hour up to Black Point. There's a lot of new moorings in here. Like, none of these mooring balls were here last time. It's actually more difficult to catch a mooring on this boat than it is just to drop anchor. I'm gonna drop anchor. And it's free. I need to install windlass controls from the cockpit and make things a little bit easier so I wouldn't have to run back and forth. The only downside to anchoring here, I mean, it's nice because like it's close to shore to take the dogs, but you got a lot of tour boats coming and going. But it's not that bad. You get a lot of wakes, but it's not terrible. After securing the anchor, we decided to head into Black Point for lunch. We took our Highfield dinghy over to the Emerald Sunset View Restaurant and Bar. You can see where they got the name for the restaurant. Baby dad, because I'm carrying around well, instead of a diaper bag, I'm carrying around a dog bag. So they have their water and their bowls and stuff. Uh-oh.
Yeah, they're like babies.
And I clean up after their vomit and poo. They're basically little babies, but they're pretty nice. And the good thing is occasionally we can leave them in a kennel instead of leaving a baby in a kennel. That wouldn't be a good idea.
Yeah, true.
All right, where we just had lunch is the Emerald Sunset Grill and Bar. Cool spot. It's been here about 6-7 years now. It wasn't here when I first came here. This was just Regatta Point where they held, the regattas, because they would race these kind of boats. These are the local boats that they race. Pretty interesting. They'll put about 6 guys on there and race them. So most of the locals that work on Staniel Key and on the surrounding resorts live here on Black Point. That's just a government clinic. I don't think it was around anymore because like there's ceilings caved in and stuff and the generator doesn't work. And then across the street is the school. Definitely has a fresh coat of paint there. Across from the school is the police station, which I've never seen a police car here. They kind of take care of their own stuff here. I was talking to some locals once before and they're like, yeah, if anybody gets out of line, we take care of it ourselves because, they make most of their money on tourists and boaters and stuff over here. So they want to make sure, nothing happens. Right down there is the desalination plant, I believe. Behind me is Scorpio's. That was the original bar on the island that was fun to hang out with. Now it's kind of a locals place because the owner went across the street and opened Black Point Yacht Club, but I guess it's closed on Sundays, at least for lunch, because it's not open right now. And then the last couple places there, you got Dashamon's restaurant, and then the market, closed on Sundays, like a lot of places. And then the town dock is right down here, and they used to give free water here, which is why a lot of cruisers would come. I think they might have gotten rid of it, but let me look for it. Yep, so they still do the free water, and then they have a trash disposal place, and then a little decent market. So for the Exumas, especially, this area, it's not too bad. It's, high living if you can find a place to throw away your trash in a market and free water. So that is the trash trailer. Throw your trash in, throw a couple bucks in the donation box, and there you go. Somebody will haul it off. It's kind of convenient here. And then this would be the town dock where all the, the mail boat and all that comes in and docks here, and that's where the people get all their stuff. There's a lot more Airbnbs on here. So there used to be only 4 or 5 little apartments over there now. There's a lot more Airbnbs and stuff. People are coming over here and staying more. They do have a little airport. So, there's an airplane flying in right now. They do have a direct flight from Nassau. Well, actually, it's not direct. You got to stop in Staniel Key, but whatever. It's only a 2-minute flight from Staniel Key to here. All right, back to the boat. I don't know, maybe jump in, maybe do some work, do whatever. So, chill out until happy hour. We hung out on the boat for a little bit and then headed back into shore to go to the Black Point Yacht Club for dinner. The Black Point Yacht Club is fairly new and has its own dinghy dock. Pretty much anywhere in Black Point has a great view of the sunset. Good morning.
Good morning. We're going on a hike, boys.
Yeah, you guys ready to go for a walk?
Ooh.
Go for a walk? I think they're ready to go for a walk. We're going on a hike, so we are gonna. There's a blowhole, which I've actually never been to here. I've been to Black Point many times. For some reason, I just forget that it's there. But we are going to go check it out now. That's the way the whole thing started. Silly, but it's true. All right, so to see the blowhole, you want to do it at high tide when the wind's up, and it's high tide and the wind's up. So we're expecting good things on the blowhole. Came the sun, the ice was melting, no more sheltering. The town dock is a little bit closer to the blowhole, so we headed over there. It's only about a 10 or 15 minute walk from the town dock over to the blowhole. Sometimes she'd shop and she would show me what she bought. All the people stared as if we were both quite insane. Someday my name and hers are going to be the same. Bus stop, wet day, she's there. Well, so, I mean, I don't know, the wind's the waves are at a slightly odd angle. If it was coming in a little bit more out of the south, the swell would go straight in here. Maybe it's too high, because I don't think, maybe you need to come back at low tide. Well, there's a little bit of blowhole. Maybe at low tide would be better, because I don't think the waves are getting able to get underneath. So there's a cave that goes from the opening there. The waves aren't able to pass through all the way. You can kind of see it blowing. Bus stop, bus goes, she stays, love grows. After checking out the blowhole, we took the dogs for a hike. All that summer we enjoyed it, wind and rain and shine. That umbrella we employed it, by August she was mine. So this is why the Exumas are so great to sail. You can see so that's the Exuma sound side. It's the sound between like Exuma and Eleuthera and Cat Island. It's really rough and really choppy. I mean, it's not that bad today, but I wouldn't want to be out there if I didn't have to, because on this side you can sail. From one, you have this just beautiful water, and it's flat because you know, the islands break it up, so there's no wind wave. So you can be sailing, I don't know, I'm guessing it's probably 15 to 17 knots of breeze right now, and so you can sail in flat water with just wind chop in 17 knots of breeze, versus being out here where you'd have 3 to 5 footers sailing in that, so it'd be a lot rougher. So that's why, and you just have that beautiful water over there. The Exuma island chain in the Bahamas really has some of the most beautiful water in all of the world. I cooled off the dogs, and then it was Sarah's time to cool off, jumping in off the back of the boat. Black Point is a great stop if you're cruising down the Exuma Island chain. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you're subscribed to the channel. If you'd like access to the raw, uncut footage of this video and weekly exclusive updates, please consider joining the Sailing Doodles Navy or becoming a patron. You can also join as a YouTube channel member.